Hey, I'm back. The evening hunt. I'm out in the east blind. It's a lot to cover here, guys, for one guy, but it's a good spot. I saw that buck cross today here about 75 yards out. And hoping he reverses his pattern tonight. The farmer's pulling the corn. Sorry, I keep looking. These deer pop out here all the time. It's about 2:30. I got out early. It looks like it's locked down right now. Hardly seen any does. Hardly just seen that one buck. But you know that can change any moment. You got to be out here, so stick with me, guys. We're gonna try and doe or a buck. You know me. Anything for the freezer. Well, guys, sorry I couldn't get it on. Just shot 2 deer. I think it was a buck and a doe. Wow, I don't know. Wow. There's a nice little poke back there, but both of them are down, I think. They both dropped. I'm gonna give it a couple minutes and I'll go back there. I dropped 2 big old does back there. I mean, what? Shot them through just windows. The buck was back there with another doe. Boy, I should have sat in Monstrosity tonight. You would have had perfect footage of them all. Well, guys, double dip tonight. That little 20 gauge, I'm going to tell you what, it put the smack down on these 2 does. The first one here is a giant doe. I don't know what she's going to weigh. I bet you she looks like she's 4.5 years old at least. Her teeth are starting to get worn down. She's huge. She came in, funny thing, she got real dark pea pads. She came in with a buck. The buck was right back. Actually, if I would have sat at Monstrosity tonight, would have worked out a little bit better for the footage. I sat in our east blind, and with the tripod, that blind is 6 foot by 8 foot. It really is meant for 2 guys to hunt. Well, I sat up in it tonight because the farmer was pulling corn. I thought, well, he might shove some deer out through the horseweed to me, and they'll settle down right there before the woods. And so I sat, and I heard something behind me. I looked out the back window, which I'm facing forward. This is where I'm expecting all the deer to come from. And I see a couple white tails coming through down the trail that we cut right through the woods. Grab the video camera. I get it over there by the thing. And I apologize. I thought I hit record, so at least I could get the shots on. It all happened like in an instant. They turned around. They started walking. There's just a narrow path back there. It's about 8 feet wide. It goes all the way back through all the brush to the Monstrosity stand. And I noticed the one had a rack about maybe 100-inch looking 8-pointer. I thought, you know, after this season, I'm not going to sit here and argue about what God gives me. So I grabbed the gun, was leaning up against it, grabbed it, got it out the window, tried to get the video camera. They're walking away from me, so I had to bleed again. I'll have to check the video camera. Maybe I did get the footage on. Well, I start bleeding. Man, they won't stop. They keep walking away, straight away from me. And in maybe 10 yards, I'm not going to have any shot. So the one, I thought the buck was behind. He turned sideways, and he's behind brush and a tree. And all I could see was the huge body and the pea pads, and it looked like a rack in there. But because of how the deer was situated, the only real shot I had was, in getting that late, is I took that rifle shot right there in the neck and just dropped it. So I'm thinking to myself, I just dropped the buck. I chuck another shell in. I start bleeding because that doe is bouncing back toward Monstrosity. Finally, she turns around, and I do the same shot, about a 100-yard shot back there through all the limbs, but it was wide open. And that little 20 gauge, I'll tell you what, hits the mark. Dropped her, and I thought, man, I just got a buck and a doe. I'm pretty much done for the year, it seems like, maybe. A little bit archery hunting. Well, right after I shot the doe dropped. Here, this one, looks like a 2.5-year-old doe. She dropped, and 2 more deer ran off. And I thought, well, maybe that was her fawns with her, or maybe it's 2 more does. Well, apologize, I'm right by the road here. I get out about 5 minutes after that because it's starting to get dark, and you hear the footage. I come back, and I can't believe it. This is a big, giant doe. That buck is back behind monstrosity looking at me when I walk back there. And I hadn't even checked this deer yet. I thought it was another buck. I could have shot him, but I thought it was another buck with the deer. I thought, well, I already got one down. I can't shoot another one. I go over and see this thing laying, and I still, looking at the body, thought it was that buck. I mean, this thing's got an enormous body. Anyway, so I go over and look, and I'm kind of amazed when I start getting closer. I notice I don't see the rack. The head's laying a little flat. Anyways, it ended up being a buck with these 2 does and 3 other does and 2 fawns. There ended up being 7 or 8 deer back there. I never even saw. If I would have sat in monstrosity, which, you know, I built that thing. I should have sat at it. I just, you know, like I said, got out and I wanted to be in the blind to overlook everything. It's been so slow lately. Anyways, but this fills my tags up tonight. Guys. I just filled it out, so I'm pretty much done except for a buck down here. But wow, I mean, I'm telling you what, I am amazed. I am so sorry I didn't get the shots on, guys. It really irks me. It's funny, when I gun hunt, I have a problem with this tripod because it really limits you when you're in a blind. You've got to shoot out of a window and you got to shoot the camera out of the window. And tonight it came back to bite me. If I'm sitting in a tree stand with my 3rd arm camera arm, I've got full range of everywhere I can shoot. I can shoot that camera. I just feel so much more at ease with it. It seems like archery is my bag, but for filming, I get most of my archery kills on videotape, but I don't get hardly any of my gun ones. But anyways, just a quick short video for you from tonight. It worked out. I got a real nice doe. I bet you she's going to tip it at 130, 140, and probably another 120-pound doe right here. So, guess what's that noise? Like T-Bone said, what's that? Soup's on. The soup's on. That freezer gonna be full. I want to thank God for letting me come out and hunt, guys. Appreciate all you watching my videos and all the great words. After the last couple weeks, it's been an emotional roller coaster. That's what bow hunting and hunting is about anyways, and life in general. And that's why I like getting out here, and this is the real life. This is putting meat in the freezer. You know, big racks, small racks, no racks. You know, I just enjoy getting out in God's great world, and I just want to thank you, Lord, for all your blessings. You know, just when you get down on yourself, it seems like the Lord knows when you've had enough, and He brings you back. And tonight He brought me back, and I'm very pleased and very happy, and I wish I could have got the shots on. I don't even know, guys, if even if I had the video camera out the window, they were in such thick area back there, and it was getting dark. I don't even know if you could have seen it. But now you see them. Anyways, thanks for sharing. Thanks for watching. And as always, Uncle Bucky says, take care, be safe, and most of all, have fun.